Interesting Splatoon news just dropped, which we'll be talking about in the video. But before getting to that, make sure you are hitting that thumbs up button. Make sure you are hitting that subscribe button if you are new to the channel as well. So today, Nintendo did announce that they are acquiring a part of Bandai Namco. Bandai Namco Singapore will be acquired by Nintendo. It will be renamed to Nintendo Singapore. And you might be thinking, how is this related to Splatoon? Well, the interesting thing is that this studio did help out on the development of Splatoon 3, and on their website it does list that they did help out on the concept art, character modelling, environment modelling, as well as animation for Splatoon 3. So they were like a support studio. They are sort of similar to the studio within Microsoft that did help out on Splatoon 3, which I've talked about many times throughout this year. So yeah, I do believe these did come up with all of the Grand Festival concept art, which we did see within the Bancala Walker art book, which did come out around about a year ago now. I do believe they were responsible for coming up with all of that artwork. What is interesting about this acquisition is that probably moving forward they will exclusively support Nintendo games. It's like on their website they did say that they did help out on Ace Combat 7, which is of course a Bandai Namco game. Moving forward they will probably just work on games like Splatoon. Maybe right now they are in the middle of helping out Splatoon Raiders. Maybe we will find out about this whenever we do get more information about Splatoon Raiders, which I did make a separate video talking about Splatoon Raiders in 2026. I do feel like this studio is working on Splatoon Raiders. Maybe we will see their creations within a Splatoon Raiders art book as well in the future. Maybe we will get an art book maybe 6 months after when that game does come out, and maybe it will be filled with all of the creations, all of the concept art that this studio did work on. If they are working on Splatoon Raiders, I do feel like they are. What this also means going forward is that because it will probably just be working on Nintendo games, they don't have to wait for them to work on Splatoon 4. They could get to work on Splatoon 4 whenever Nintendo wants them to work on that game. I guess there is a possibility as well that maybe they are coming up with concept art, character art and environment modelling for Splatoon 4. Maybe Splatoon 4 is just starting development right now. Maybe it is in early development. Maybe they are sort of coming up with concepts for what the game will turn out to be, and this studio is responsible for that. What also it could mean as well, whenever Splatoon 4 does come out, it could mean that we could get updates further along. We could get updates for longer. I think that is one of my main hopes coming from this acquisition, although it is a little bit unrealistic, as well as hoping for this acquisition meaning that we will get updates on a more regular basis compared to Splatoon 3, where we did get seasons every 3 months. I do prefer what they did do with Splatoon 2, where pretty much we would get updates on a regular basis. We could get updates like a weapon dropping 1 week and then a map dropping a week later. I'm hoping that this acquisition could mean the return of regular updates, but the main thing I'm hoping for from this acquisition is that maybe we could see Splatoon Raiders and Splatoon 4 come out sooner than if Nintendo didn't acquire this studio. I'm not really bothered about when Splatoon 4 does come out, but if it does mean that we will get Splatoon 4 in 3 years time compared to like 6 or 7 years time, then I will definitely take the 3 years option. Games take ages to develop now. If this means we get the same quality but a little bit sooner, then I am all for it. When it comes to Splatoon 4, I definitely say let the devs cook, but I definitely don't want to be waiting 8-9 years for Splatoon 4. I think this is the main reason why they did buy this studio, because in an investors meeting their president did say that games are taking longer. They will be acquiring developers to support their studios. This is our first evidence of this happening. I do feel like what this acquisition does mean for the Splatoon series going forward is that they will have a dedicated support studio to support the main team working on the games. Maybe nothing will change going forward, but that is just my opinion. I do feel like this will be the support studio for the Splatoon series going forward. Maybe freeing up Microsoft to work on whatever Nintendo wants them to help out on, which is of course not their main team within Microsoft. It is like a part of Microsoft that does work on other Nintendo games. So maybe they could work on the next Zelda, for example. So yeah, maybe the support studio could end up replacing that Monolith studio in supporting the Splatoon series. But yeah, maybe this acquisition could tell us that maybe Nintendo are planning for Splatoon 4. They want this studio to start working on other Bandai Namco games. Maybe Bandai Namco were thinking about selling up this support studio. Nintendo went in there and acquired it before anybody else would, so that they would continue working on the Splatoon series. Maybe this is our first sign that Splatoon 4 is in development. But yeah, I do feel like we will find out that they did work on Splatoon Raiders. Moving forward, I definitely feel like this will be a Splatoon support studio as well as developing other Nintendo games. But let me know your thoughts about this acquisition in the comment section below in terms of what it could mean for the Splatoon series. So that is it with this video. I will see you in another video soon.